Hey everybody, get on in here. I have my tea. Do you have yours? Oh, it smells so good.
All day I rush around, but I'm still on the ground, on the
Avalanche!
I'll soon be fluttering if I can find my wings, find my wings.
Get on in here.
Patiently, I want to fly today, but I hear a gentle voice inside me say that slow and steady
Steps will be my pace.
slow and steady.
It is the winter solstice, the shortest day of our year in the northern hemisphere.
It will take
The longest in the
some
southern
time,
hemisphere.
but the victory will be mine. Slow and steady, I'm gonna learn to fly. I'm starting to believe I only race with
Get in here.
me.
Come on.
I can't give to someone else this journey for myself. It's for myself. Since my best is all I have, it is enough. I can see a ray of
Somebody's on their
hope.
treadmill.
I got to trust.
Okay, y'all. So many things to talk about. Let's just say tonight, if you're out and about, or if it's already night where you are, like in the UK and other places, go outside and look. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you are in the southern hemisphere, let me know. Check up in the sky and see if you see a bright star. This is they're saying it's the equivalent of the Magi star when Jesus was born. The star in the heavens that shone the way for the shepherds and for the wise men to come his direction. And it's the convergence of Saturn and Jupiter getting really close to each other. Now, they're not close to each other. They're long ways apart. But as we see them in the sky, they're getting closer and closer. But they're not going to hit each other. But their light goes together. And it's going to be huge. So we're going to have to take a drive tonight somewhere out into the valley and see if we can see it. Yep, I want to see it. We might be able to see it from our house, but I don't know. Thanks. Anyway, so I know you're feeling pressure right now. Everybody does this time of year. It's just what happens. And when you start feeling yourself get anxious, now I'm here to tell you, the tizzy mode kicks in and you think you need to work faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. But the opposite is true. You don't work faster, you slow down and stay focused. That's how you get things done. Angie said she served me at Carrabba's one time. I haven't been to Carrabba's in many, many, many years. Oh, wow. Anyway, it's tonight. Yeah, it's the convergence of those two stars. Well, they're not stars, they're planets, but they reflect light and they look like a big old star. So it's not a star. but it's two planets that are reflecting light. I've been an amateur astronomer for all my life, since I was 12 years old. But really before that. Yeah, a long time before that. I always loved the stars. I got a telescope one year for Christmas. And I have always loved looking up at the sky, because to me, looking up at the sky and seeing all the celestial bodies is like looking into the heart of God. That's how I feel. You can't see stars in the UK. Okay, well, it's hard to see stars here unless you go up on the parkway or you get out in the countryside. But we have mountains and you don't see a lot of stars. Anyway, when you get in a hurry, you need to slow down. Because just because you rush doesn't mean you're going to get it done any faster. But you take your cup of tea. This is the most important part, a cup of tea, especially the one with caffeine in it. And you take a little note card and you write down 6 things. 6 things that you need to get done. What are they? Well, right now I need to make my hors d'oeuvre recipe list of what I'm going to cook Christmas Eve. I usually do Christmas Eve hors d'oeuvres. And I already have the stuff to make cheese glop. Robert's favorite thing, cheese glop, is to die for. So we've already got cheese glop. And we'll probably make some meatballs. Meatballs are always good. And then we'll do maybe some sausage balls and some little potato rounds. And we'll just have a nice little hors d'oeuvre supper. It's always fun. And then I'll cook on, I think we won't have a traditional Christmas dinner. We'll have steaks because Justin bought us steaks for Christmas. So we'll have baked potato, steak, and salad. And it'll be good. It'll be real good. Because it's just going to be us. And it's going to be fun. Cheese glop. Yeah, well, it's got Fiesta cheese soup in it. And Velveeta, don't tell Leanne, Velveeta. And ground mustard, not mustard, yellow mustard, ground mustard. And it's got squeezed out chopped spinach in it. Oh, is it good? It's got a little spice to it, and it just makes it all good. And then the cheese rounds, I take a white potato, and I slice it in about 3/8 to a 1/2 inch pieces. And I roll them in olive oil or avocado oil, whatever you got. Butter even works. And put them in the oven at 350 until they brown. And then you flip them halfway through and brown them on the other side. And then you take a little cube of cheese, cheddar cheese or Velveeta, whatever you got, and you put it on there and let it melt. Don't let it run all over everything, but let it melt. And then you can take a dollop of sour cream on there, and you put some bacon bits and some a green onion or chives or something. But we don't do these things very often. And if they have something in there that you might not think is the greatest food choice ever, once a year is not going to kill you. It's just not going to do it. So we're planning our little hors d'oeuvres, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We started doing this 20 years ago when Mama died. And people came over to our house and they brought hors d'oeuvres, and it was just a nice way to remember Mama. And not really have to work too hard at it, even though you do. We might do some sausage. I like to take kielbasa sausage and cut it up and and put it in the oven with brown sugar on top of it. Now that's really good too. Or you can take the little cocktail sausages and wrap them in bacon and put them in the crock pot with some brown sugar, and it makes its own sauce. Or you can make something that my mother used to make, and she would take just regular hot dogs and cut them into pieces and take a jar of grape jelly and either barbecue sauce or ketchup. It's just according to what you like. There you have it. It'd be good. And I like to make a little plucking bread for dipping purposes. And you take roll dough and you cut it into pieces. You roll it in butter and then roll it in Parmesan cheese and basil or rosemary or just whatever kind of spices you got. Put it in a bundt pan and cook it at 350 until it gets brown, and then dump it out. And then you just pull pieces of it and dip it into your cheese or dip it into your sauces. And it's fun. Or dip it in, do a fondue. One year for Christmas, we did fondue. And that was a lot of fun. We had and I've got 3 fondue pots, which I probably need to give to Emily and Justin. But one had oil, one had cheese, and one had chocolate. Yeah, we did 3 different fondues. Well, what you do when you're making the plucking bread, all you're doing is making little dough balls about like this, and they rise up. So you make these little dough balls, and you roll them in the butter and the seasonings. Now you can also roll them in, I have put a piece of mozzarella stick in one and seal it up, and then put Italian seasonings and olive oil, and they just pull apart real easy, and serve it with pizza sauce. You can get some cheap fondue sets on eBay. I think I got some for like $10. That's where I got all mine. And it's fun. Jeanette likes the tea. I do too. Anyway, making a few hors d'oeuvres, and then you've got leftovers. I have put little pieces of sausage in my plucking bread, or pepperonis in there with a piece of cheese, cheese stick, and made pepperoni cheese bites with a little bit of bread. And it's simple. Takes longer to make than it does to tell you about it. Heinz 57 and sweet and sour sauce works too. Grape jelly works too. But you just take pieces of roll dough. I mean, you can get this frozen dough at the grocery store. And you let it thaw and you cut it into, cut it in half. And it's good. Or you can make some sliders. You take the rolls and you turn them into sliders. Put some Swiss cheese and some ham on there, and yum. So I like mushrooms too, stuffed mushrooms. And I like to make mine keto mushrooms. So I do onion and the stems, I chop all that up, and then I put some seasonings in it and Parmesan cheese and put that in the cap instead of putting breadcrumbs in there. Although I do have breadcrumbs. I make my own breadcrumbs when rolls don't work out. I just put them in the food processor and with it, with some seasonings in there. But Robert's going to go to the grocery store tomorrow. He'll get everything we need. We already have most of it. I've got sausage in the basement. I've got everything we need in the basement, so in the freezer. So it's all good. And if we don't have the stuff to make it with, we'll try something else. We'll make what we got. I know we got the white potatoes, and I know we've got the stuff for glop. We don't have any mushrooms, so we would have to buy mushrooms. But it's fun to plan it and have a good dinner and not have to do a whole lot in the process. Anyway, here's to having fun. Somebody likes the way I say yum. Well, y'all, have a good rest of the day. Go out and see the star. Go out and just look at the pretty lights. And if you live in our town, you got to go down Jack Street. He's got lots of lights out. And we haven't seen them this year, so we may go out riding after dinner. It's all fun. And you have to have fun. Cook up a storm this week. Yeah. I got a 5-gallon bucket of flour in a while ago. I'm telling you, it was a 5-gallon bucket of flour. And I was out of bread flour. And so it filled up my 2-gallon canister quite well. And Robert said, "We're out of flour?" And I said, "We're out of bread flour. We have some whole wheat bread flour, but no bread flour." And it was I had to take the pliers to open this thing, but I did read the instructions on the top of the bucket. Yeah, I'm not doing any sourdough stuff. I got a pound of yeast, and I'm gonna use that. And I'm not gonna do sourdough. It takes too long to get it going, and I'm just not gonna feed it like a baby. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm gonna just use regular yeast. And I got my bread machine from the office. So we're gonna have rolls of some kind. So Leanne, plug your ears. Flour and Velveeta, yeah. Anyway, folks, y'all have a great rest of the day. Plan something fun to do. We're gonna go look at lights. Y'all do something like that too. Good memories. Robert's been collecting firewood out in the woods and cutting it up, and he's got a big load to go. Anyway, folks, I love you all. Have a yum kind of day. Yep. I always have a roll disaster. It's always something. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.